guys, you're keen on bringing up a video, and today we're going to be talking about Jey Uso. Now, this ain't gonna be a why I like Jey Uso video. I don't know if we're gonna ever get one of those, which, no hate to him because I like him, but why is everybody up in arms about Jey Uso? That is what we're gonna get into. Now, I get if, you know, Jey Uso is not your cup of tea, especially because I don't expect people to like wrestlers I like. Now, I expect you to respect them, but like them, that's that's your own personal preference, because I don't like a lot of people that are very good wrestlers, and it sounds contradicting, but sometimes you might be a good wrestler, but I don't mean I have to like you. Jey Uso is very interesting because he is a very popular superstar, yet a lot of times whenever he does something really well on the internet, that tells a whole different story. Now, I've been to a share of WWE events in the past, well, 3. I've been to 3 WWE events. And at all of those events, there has been eating involved. Literally eating involved. And he has not even been at all of them events. He's only been to one event that I actually seen him. Like, I want y'all to really think, like, SummerSlam, they were eating for him. That SmackDown I went to, they were eating for him. And then Raw, which he was on, they eat it for him. So he has the connection with the fans and live events. So for people to say that they don't understand why he's in these spaces, why he's in a conversation, I think we're really not putting on our thinking caps. I do think that they dropped the ball a lot when it comes to him, because when he had the Intercontinental Championship, like, that was the moment. And they kind of, I want to say, they squandered it, and they squandered the World Heavyweight Championship because he lost it. And I'm like, okay, what next? What next for Jey Uso? Not only that, for the World Heavyweight Championship, they did such a masterful job of implementing him in multiple storylines. If they kept that going, I really would think that people would have more respect for him, because we didn't see the current, like, no shade to Gunther, because I really like Gunther, but sometimes WWE doesn't know what to do with Gunther. So he was a champion, and we weren't really seeing the World Heavyweight Championship. We weren't seeing that many people coming for him as we did with Jey. So there was multiple things going on when Jey Uso was World Heavyweight Champion, and that I enjoyed a lot. I think if he actually was able to go through certain feuds and master them, more people will have respect for him. More people will see why people like Jey Uso. Now, I'm not saying I gotta be buying the glasses and merch and everything, but at least have some sort of respect for him. And I'm not gonna lie, he is not. I don't know why people think he's like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to talent. I don't. Now, there is a lot of things that he is, and there's a lot of things he's not. He's not gonna be a technician in there. He's not going to give you no AJ Styles, no Drag. He's not gonna do none of that. He's not gonna give you that. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna do a few moves, you know what I'm saying, get the crowd going, get the crowd engaged, and he's going to feed into the storyline. Now, that right there is what he's kind of mastered, and where I'm like surprised why people don't give him his props, because when it comes to the emotional aspect of the matches that he has, it's there. It's there. Literally, that is what gets it. And for people to be fans of professional wrestling, but that always goes over their head when it comes to Jey Uso, is concerning, because it's like, that is a huge part of wrestling. It's theatrics. It's drama. Okay? Wrestling is a good part of it, but there's a reason why we separate the two. There's a reason why you're just not going out there being a wrestler that goes to the Olympics and stuff of that nature. There's a reason to that. So I'm not going to say you got to like Jey Uso, but every time he gets an opportunity, that doesn't mean you got to come out the woodwork saying, another moment for Jey Uso. You don't even deserve it. And that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. You've been in this game 14 years. You can't, after somebody's been in this game for at least 14 years, I can never say they didn't earn it. I can never say they didn't earn it. Now, did he come up alone? No. And all of the superstars on that freaking roster did not come up alone. They had people to help them. They had people to, the opponents they go against, help them. And that pushes the story. That pushes their character. That is what happened with Jey Uso. And honestly, from day one of Roman becoming tribal chief, this was always the blueprint. This was always it. And it's almost like when you get there, that's when people are like, all right. But I also do see the argument that Jey Uso now is not the Jey Uso that we saw with Right Hand Man. That I get and that I understand. Because they were getting him to a point where he was just saying yeet and get the crowd going, because that's what sells and that's what brings money. And that's what gets the attention of everybody of all ages. And that's what you need. But at the same time, it limited his character. It limits his character, but it didn't take away from who he was as a person, because I'll be real, Jey Uso himself has not really changed. What he got going on now, that's what's pissing me off, but it's not something that is out of character for Jey Uso. And then it's like, I don't, like, y'all want the moon for real. Because what do y'all really expect it's gonna be doing every time? Not only that, they've built him into a superstar. Like, y'all say it's some Zack Ryder stuff, but it's not Zack Ryder stuff. It is not Zack Ryder stuff. Now, sure, the gimmick, that got you, but people like Jey Uso before the catchphrase of yeet being everywhere. People said, hey, Jey Uso should be the next tribal chief. Jey Uso should be the next WWE champion. And for y'all to say, yes, this man should carry the company, but then now they give him opportunities to where he could be the one carrying a show, then things go out of whack. That's crazy. That is crazy. Now, like, for his character-wise, there is a lot that I don't care for. And I'm not going to dogpile on him because I feel like it just adds fuel to the flame. But I don't really care for the fact that, okay, when he wants to be serious and then he tells the crowd to not yeet, I'm like, not that he tells the crowd not to yeet. I'm fine with him telling the crowd not to eat. But there's moments where he says yeet and everything where I understand that that's how he talks or whatever. But it's excessive. It's excessive. Now, it's not enough for me not to like him. It's just excessive. And as I'm not going to say, oh, because you got in this position, that's why so-and-so can't. LA Knight not being in the position he's in has nothing to do with Jey Uso. If they wanted to, they would. Like that's the conversation I've been having about Carmelo Hayes. If they wanted to, they would. All right, yes, I had to throw Carmelo Hayes into it because we're going through something, okay? That's the narrative we need to push. Like, fuel all your hatred of Jey Uso, put it into some positive energy by trying to push Carmelo Hayes. I want y'all to have that same energy I have for Jey Uso and make it to positive energy for Carmelo Hayes. Now, y'all see how I didn't say hatred, because that is one wrestler you can't hate him for real. I ain't like I am not trying to make this video about Carmelo Hayes at all, but the thing y'all say I don't like about Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, y'all can become a fan of Carmelo Hayes now. And okay, the conversation of the titles, is he really worth the title matches and everything? And there's a lot of people who are saying, he hasn't got his one-on-one, so it is only fair that he gets this opportunity, especially because he earned it. Now, I guess, if you want to be a jerk, yeah, you earned it. He did earn the title. He earned the title match. Because they said they went away with the, you have a rematch, the rematch clauses for championships, and then sometimes they pull it. Sometimes they end up allowing people to have rematch clauses and rematches for a title match, but they don't always do it. It's not a guarantee. So the argument that Jey Uso needed to have his rematch and they should have allowed him to have a rematch, that's null and void. It's null and void. I'm not saying that I don't want to have him as champion, but I think it'll be really interesting in the landscape that he is champion, if he becomes champion at Saturday Night's Main Event. I believe something has to come, a twist, a turn, a change has to happen for him to be World Heavyweight Champion, like for the storyline for him to be World Heavyweight Champion. I can see a storyline with CM Punk, but there would need to be a freaking turn for Jey Uso to win that title. There has to be a turn, there has to be something for him to have to win that title and for it to make sense. Because all I see is if he wins that title, he's losing it. He's losing it. Now, I ain't gonna say a month, like his first title reign, but I'm gonna say close to it. And I know I'm in that group of people that don't say, hey, you don't need to have long title reigns for no reason. But for Jey Uso, you can't just have 2 1-month title reigns back to back. You can't do that. That's nasty. All right, I don't want to see that. So if he becomes champion, it's either because he's going to go really off the dark side and join up with the Vision, or, you know, decide, hey, I'm the new tribal chief, because he could do that. Or for Jimmy to decide to join up with the Vision, and for Jimmy to decide to take respect from everybody and turn on everybody, because Jimmy could do that. Jimmy could turn on everybody, and that's compelling. If Jimmy Uso did it, it'd be very compelling. Like, I don't subscribe to the notion that you know, because one twin is up, the other can't be up, or that I have to say, all right, he's better than him. I think he's really better than him, and he should have this. Why does he have it? I don't subscribe to that notion. I hate that narrative, because he's in a position where he is because that is what was meant to be, and because he worked for it. But him deciding that he didn't need Jimmy's help after he begged him, like literally he's called him a 4K. I can't do this without you. I need you, to Jimmy. But hey, neither here nor there. No, it is here nor there. Okay, it is here nor there. He literally said that. Not only did he say that, but the reason why he was World Heavyweight Champion in the first place is because Jimmy had to check Gunther and almost, get his behind. He did get his behind beat. I want to say almost ended up in a full body cast, to make you understand and pay attention to your own worth and that you could do this. That's why you couldn't do it without Jimmy. But now what? You can't. You need to do without Jimmy. What? Now you really gonna be him? That's quite interesting. Quite interesting, because first title reign you did without Jimmy, how'd that go? Whew. Ew, didn't go too well. So I don't know, but I know that there is going to be a match between those two. If they don't get together, there's going to be a match between those two. And honestly, the optics of Jimmy deciding to turn and then team up with the Vision, it's really low. That is a very low chance of happening. But the way that just sounds so crazy, like, who would even think of that? I want that. And I think I need to see that happen. But I don't want to say it's something that you just got to deal with when it comes to Jey Uso, but it's something you got to deal with. Like, there's other things about WWE you can argue about, and you can say, oh, I dislike. But this Jey Uso literally is like one of the only things they kind of listen to the fans about. And honestly, if y'all really want to complain about something, complain about Carmelo Hayes booking. Complain about that. How about we complain about that? Complain about the fact that for, a year and some change, Carmelo Hayes has an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale award, while everybody else got titles, matches with future Hall of Famers. That is what you need to think about, and that is what you want to argue about. But Jey Uso, man, that's a done deal. That's like literally something that you could have predicted years ago when they first started. Like, not the first time. Well, around the first time they started Bloodline. I think you just gotta get over it. I'm sorry. Now, you can say hatred, but as I said, how about we repackage that energy and send it some positive energy to Carmelo Hayes? But let me know how you guys feel about Jey Uso overall, and what y'all think is gonna happen at Saturday night's main event. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.